Okay, this is gonna be ice shooting part deux. Yeah, I gotta have a crazy name for things now. Um, Last week there was an incident where ICE had did a targeted traffic stop. Now, if an officer catches you doing something stupid, he pulls you over. That's a random traffic stop or a patrol traffic stop. He saw you committing a crime and he pulled you over. But if they are actively seeking you, could be an all points bulletin, they could have a warrant, they are actively seeking you or your vehicle, and they find you or your vehicle, maybe they're in your neighborhood, maybe they're where you at work, or where they know you're gonna be, at that bar, you were targeted by them. And this individual was targeted, he is a gang member. Now, he was targeted, they pull him over, and he takes off in the car. I've seen this a couple times, including in my hometown. The guy pulls over, get out of the car, approach him, and he takes off. You gotta get back in your car to chase him. There was another incident where there was a live police video from my hometown where there were officers trying to stop a guy and they pulled him over several times, breaking the windows, shoving a taser in his face. It took a couple of attempts to stop him. This guy, they pull him over and he breaks free and gets away in his car. He crashes into a parked car. Thank God it wasn't a moving car or a pedestrian or a house, God forbid. He gets out and keeps running. Agents take off on foot after him. I don't know if they had how many guys they had. They could have had 10 guys in 10 directions. They could have these guys in the car, these guys on foot. But punchline is one agent gets a hold of him and they start grappling. Then there's, I don't know if it's an apartment building or a house or a duplex, but there's some home somewhere. And a couple assholes that just happen upon the scene. They live in the area, they look out the window and see this shit. I don't know, they're friends, they know each other. Was it spontaneous? They know they play together. But they run out, one has a broomstick and one has a snow shovel. And they began beating the agent with the shovel and the broomstick to get the principal suspect away from him. And he himself, the principal suspect, takes an item, probably the shovel, and starts beating the ICE agent. And the ICE agent's on the ground, grabs his gun, and he hip shoots and gets the principal guy in the leg. They drag him into one of their residencies, lock the doors, barricade themselves in. Reinforcements arrive. They get the ICE guy to the hospital. And I don't know if it was a standoff or whatnot, but they eventually were able to get the suspects, all three of them, into custody. The guy with the gunshot wound, obviously, he has to go to the hospital. But, they chain him to the bed. They got guards at the door, that bullshit. Probably. Other two guys, they go into federal custody too. Now, the police chief from Minneapolis, who should resign or be thrown in jail, he actually says that his people got a call saying that he said a federal agent, he didn't say ICE, he said a federal agent, I'm paraphrasing, was in an altercation and shot a guy in the leg, and the guy went into a residence and barricaded himself in, and is in the hospital. FBI and local police processing the scene. There's a mob there. It's an unlawful crowd. Please disperse. Now, obviously, he should have said it's an unlawful assembly. Please disperse. You're not allowed to go near an active crime scene. But the part where he says federal agent and a guy grappling, guy gets shot, guy barricades himself in a residence, okay, and there was a reporter in the room. Keep in mind, 95+% of journalists are Democrats, and this was the 5%. This woman says, "What about the other guys with the broomstick and the shovel and the?" Like he deliberately omitted that from his statement. Then the mayor came out, and the mayor's got to go to prison. He should go to prison. No question, he should go to prison for this. The mayor came out and the mayor said, imagine if there are 3,000 agents that invade your hometown, schools are closed, shops are closed, people are afraid of being separated from their families, okay, a whole 9 yards bullshit. Okay? They don't share our values. Well, no shit, they don't share your values, okay? Your values are committing fraud, your values are throwing bottles of urine, your values are throwing ice bottles, your values are jackknifing cars across roads, your values are following law enforcement, your values are obstructing justice. Those are your values. Okay, your values are we got scum living in our neighborhoods, let's protect them. And there was even a scene the other day where an ICE agent pulled up to a crowd and said, you're impeding our investigation. We're after a child sex trafficker, a child sex abuser, and you're impeding our investigation. That's what this is about. And the guy with the shovel that I just talked about, that was a gang member. Okay, he was a gang member. So, this has gotten completely out of hand. Okay, because there, and I've seen video footage, I'm not seeing a single local police officer. Is the police department being told not to respond? Even if the police department is not going to go and arrest the ICE targets, because that's their job, they're federal agents, that's their target, why are the police not arresting the rioters and lunatics? There was even a thing where Don Lemon and an angry mob went into a church and were demeaning parishioners today. That's being investigated by the Justice Department. This is absolute bullshit. And ICE has been to my hometown no less than 3 times in the past year, I think it was. And there were a couple of idiots that said stupid shit to themselves privately. One idiot on Facebook said the mayor should arrest ICE agents because the mayor, a city official, has the power to arrest federal officers for following the law. Whatever. But for the most part, ICE came to my hometown no less than 3 times in the past year to enforce federal warrants. And they came on their own. Well, one time they came with other federal supporters. But they came to my hometown. They effected federal arrest warrants, and that is now in the hands of whatever judge wanted the warrant signed. That's their problem, not ours. Okay? And that's that. FBI, U.S. Marshals, DEA, okay? They come to your town to enforce federal law. There's a massive investigation, organized crime, terrorism, or some federal judge signs some federal warrant because some guy, whatever the hell, okay? That's their problem. Okay, that's their problem. Everyone arrested in this country has a lawyer and a court date. Okay, period. Ted Bundy, Charles Manson, John Wayne Gacy, they all had their day in court. Period. Okay? When the law comes to enforce the law, you must move aside. Now, to look out your window and see a law enforcement officer fighting a suspect, and your instinct is to go outside and help the suspect get away from the law enforcement officer. What if that suspect is a child murderer? What if he's a serial killer? What if he's a terrorist? You don't know. But to get that idea, I need to assault a federal agent to help a fugitive from justice. I mean, what the fuck is your mentality? Okay, what the fuck is your mentality in that? Okay, and I've had family that broke the law and went to jail. I didn't make any excuse for them. I didn't say it was the court's fault. I didn't say it was the cop's fault. Okay? For someone to go out and actively obstruct any law enforcement, or I don't care if it's a village constable or the Attorney General of the United States, for you to go out and actively obstruct justice and assault officers, and it is absolute lunacy. And the president needs to declare um, civil unrest, insurrection. The president needs to declare it to be an insurrection, and they have to have penalties to face. Okay, this is disgusting. They're turning their own hometown into a war zone so that they can fight federal law enforcement officers who are trying to arrest criminals. Okay? They're not arresting Jose, the busboy. They're not arresting Miguel, the car wash guy. Okay? They're arresting drug dealers, sex traffickers. Okay? This is bullshit. Every single person that's involved in this needs to be arrested. Period. Period. No exceptions. Okay, no exceptions. I don't care if you got kids. If you are actively obstructing law enforcement, you need to be arrested. Period. Thank you.